Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us here for this pre-Aintree Grand National exclusive. We are joined by Nicky Henderson, the trainer of 4 runners in this national. Hello there, Nicky. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Well, obviously you've had 10 nice winners banged in since Cheltenham. Arguably, the horrendous conditions that preempted Cheltenham didn't play to your favour, but you seem like the trainer who's banging form now. 4 runners in the Grand National for you. You've never won a national, I see, looking through the history of it. What would this one mean to you if one of those 4 were to pop in?
Well, we need one. It's the one race that's missing off the sort of CV, if you like. We've been second a couple of times and third, and we've had some unlucky ones, and we've had a few not such good ones, and 1 or 2 in a terrible spell at one stage of horses that couldn't get them round at all.
Well,
so we'd quite like one, yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously luck can play a massive part in horse racing, but especially this Grand National. The amount, the fences and the distance, it really is a tough one to call. Let's go through those 4 runners. I'm going to go from the bottom upwards in terms of weights, and one that might not even sneak in there, but we will consider in this exclusive is Shakalaka Boom Boom. Currently rated 137, just outside the weights. What would his chances be if he were to squeak in there? And are you quite sort of, are you promising that he will jump into the weights, Nicky?
I think he'll get in.
Right.
He only needs 2 to come out, and I think I know where 1 is anyway. So he should get in. He's been there before. He ran in it 2 years ago, and actually ran a fantastic race. He led virtually the whole way to the, he was still in front after the second last.
Yeah, 9th in it, wasn't he?
Yeah, he just didn't, he did too much. He got a bit carried away with himself. He thought it was all rather good fun, and he was very enthusiastic. And then at the beginning of last season, he had a problem. He had to miss last year. So really, he's just come back in totally with this in as the objective.
Right, OK, well, we'll keep an eye on him, and he may squeak in there. Next one up, Triolo de Lane, very, very interesting horse. Obviously had the squeak in the Gold Cup, didn't quite get there. I'd imagine we're hoping for good ground with this one. Is that the case, hoping for a bit of good ground?
Yeah, I think the Gold Cup was actually, it might sound a bit odd, but it was actually part of his preparation, because he hadn't run since he'd won the Hennessy. He is a very stuffy horse. He does need racing, and because of the wet winter, we weren't able to run him the whole way since the Hennessy at the end of November, which he won.
Right.
He didn't run until the Gold Cup, and he would come on a lot for that.
He'd come on a lot for that, and I've seen him once I saw him once at Sandown. It always sticks in my eye. I believe he should have run the race and can sort of put a bit of a stray jump in here and there. But I think if he gets round those
well, he's been round before. Don't forget.
Yeah. Well,
he won the Topham last year, which is sort of 1.5 circuits, and he was very good.
So we're expecting a bit from him then, Nicky. And the next one up, and I mean, you must have worked, it has to be said, you worked a miracle with him since he's come back from America. Obviously, first off, he was rated 65. I see him now banged in there at 155 in the ratings. It's Huntball, Nicky. 4th at Cheltenham in the Ryanair. Will Huntball jump and stay the Grand National trip?
Well, there's 2 questions there. Jump, I would hope so. We schooled all the horses we're talking about, all the Grand National horses, and actually the ones that run in the Topham as well. They schooled over an Aintree-style fences this morning, and all went well. Huntball was very good. Will he stay? Well, that's the big question. That was 2.5 miles at Cheltenham.
Yeah.
He certainly wants more than 2.5, but this is 4.5.
Okay.
So you're right. There has to be a question mark about stamina.
Yeah.
But I mean, 2.5 is definitely too short. So he ran a very good race at Cheltenham, and but actually Barry Geraghty rode him there. Barry will ride Triolo de Lane, but he was very keen that Huntball should run, and he belongs to a partnership of very, very enthusiastic Americans, and they want to come over and have a go.
Oh, yeah, well, it would be a fan's favourite should he be able to place, I'd imagine, or even win the thing. You said Barry will probably ride, did you say Triolo de Lane or Huntball? But whether you could clear up those jockey bookings there for the 3 that we've mentioned, because I'd imagine, obviously, Sam Whaley-Cohen will take the one that we'll mention last.
Yeah, no, well, Barry, I was talking to this morning after we'd schooled them all. Barry would ride Triolo, I would imagine, and Andrew Tinkler, who's actually ridden Huntball before, would ride Hunt Ball and David Bass on Shakalaka Boom Boom.
As I thought, yeah. I'd take it Nico de Boinville not getting a shout, then obviously had a good winner at the festival, but those 3 jockey bookings there.
Well, we've got lots of jockeys, but unfortunately I probably haven't got enough horses.
They all want to ride. Yeah, you've got 4 in it, and the last one, just to touch on if we can, Long Run, lovely horse, you know, still probably quite young, I'd imagine, despite being that Gold Cup winner. What are his chances round Aintree? Very interesting.
I've got to, if you'd asked me the question 2 years ago, I'd have said probably none. I didn't think his technique was right for it, but I think our opinion has altered, and we've actually primarily aimed him at the National, kept him out of the Gold Cup, and like I said, we were schooling over those Aintree fences this morning, and he was very, very good.
So, I mean, very much a deliberate ploy then, I take it, to miss Cheltenham.
Yeah.
The race in general, looking at the weights, is he okay there, or is he carrying a bit too much, do you think? Or, you know, has he got the class?
Well, technically, he's got a lot of weight. He'll be second top weight. Tidal Bay will have top weight, then Long Run, then Hunt Ball. They're all going to be at the top of the handicap, but in a funny way, they're quite well handicapped. The handicapper has given them a chance by compressing them. They're at the top of the handicap, yes, but they're not having to give away as much weight as they would normally have to if it was in a regulation handicap chase. So the handicapper has given the class horses a chance, and that's been his policy.
That, and obviously looking at it at the moment, you know, play the ball as it lies, and it won't be too boggy ground, so hopefully won't be held back in that division either. Just if we could touch on an Aintree in general, I don't know whether you've got any other sort of other entries up there at Aintree that maybe you could let on to our viewers.
Well, we've got a big team going up there. I mean, I think there will be 30-odd horses going. I think, actually, there's 2 that are going to run in the Topham this year, which is the sort of once-round scenario, if you like. Probably sort of thinking, certainly with Muffy Lurl, who ran a great race at Cheltenham, that she might be a Grand National horse for next year. Then we would run Joss's Hill, who was second in the Supreme Novice Hurdle, Kentucky Hayden, who was second in the Triumph Hurdle. These are all the horses that are coming on from Cheltenham, really. Yeah,
well, I mean, looking at it, it really does seem progressive. Maybe you can pick up those, you know, big pots moving away from Cheltenham now and really finish on a high. I do hope so, Nicky. I do hope that, you know, this great form of yours continues. Whether one of these 4 come home with their nose in front of the National, we will wait and see. As we've said, it can be a tricky race and you need a bit of luck in running. But I will note down that Me Filet for the 2015 National. Put that in your notebooks at home. Thank you very much, Nicky, for giving us this exclusive interview with a little rundown of those 4 runners and obviously the other entries that you've got of Aintree. You've been cracking. I'll let you go now, and all the best. Be lucky. Thank you very much indeed. Come to the party if it happens. Cheers, Nicky. Thank you. Bye. Well, there you go. There you have it. Nicky Henderson and his 4 runners, and he also tips up Kentucky Hyde and Filet, which will probably go along with the other 30 that he mentions to Aintree. Hopefully that's given you some insight as to the 4 that Nicky have got there, and why not have a few quid each way? My one would be Triolo D'Elaine with Barry Geraghty on. Good luck. Thanks for joining us here.